Hey, welcome back. I wanted to tell a story today about how I almost killed a friend of mine uh, in an '86 Escort playing Dukes of Hazzard. So I was about 17, 18 years old. There's about five guys living in a house, and the oldest one was 21. That's never, ever a good idea. So we had the bright idea that we could play demolition derby / rally in our backyard. And he ended up tearing out a track in his backyard. Now this is a house that he rented. I have no clue, absolutely no clue how he got permission for it. Probably without permission, but I guess the landlord didn't care because he never said anything or evicted him or whatever. So we would buy cars from like towing auctions or this, that, and the other. We were buying a bunch of cars, $300-400, and then using them on this course. So what happened was, I had this '86 S. I bought it from a guy, $400. It had front end damage, the keys didn't work, and it was just a shit box. So we took this car on the course and ripped all the doors off the hood and everything else like that, literally hitting trees like left and right. Honestly, how we survived, I had no clue. One night, we decided to take it to a construction site down the street. It was like a quarter mile down the street from the house that we were living in, and we were hauling butt, and this thing had no muffler, no doors, no windows. There's four of us in the car, rolling down this road, and a cop passes. So we see that the officer turned around. So what we did was we just pulled over because we ain't gonna outrun him. This thing had no tags, no insurance, no registration, and we looked ridiculous. And we knew we were caught, and we were like, whatever, if they impound the car, it is what it is. You know, hopefully we don't go to jail. Two officers walk up to the car, and they look at us like we were special. So they got their flashlights out looking at us. It's not hard because there's no doors. And they casually ask us, how you guys doing tonight? And I responded, oh, just out for an evening cruise. So they go through the whole rigmarole. They end up calling two more officers. And I don't think it's because they felt like they were in danger. They literally just could not believe what they were seeing. So they're like, somebody's got to see this, somebody other than us. So they run the car and they run in the VIN and they're like, we don't have anything on a registration for a title. Do you have a plate? And I'm like, no. I was like, I bought it from this guy. He lives here. And they're like, well, we can't find it. Turns out, amongst all the junk in the back of this four-door station wagon is Virginia plate. So they run the plate. They realize that it's not stolen. So after they run all the plates and this, that, and the other, they asked what we were doing. We told them we're going to go down to this construction site. They said it's probably not a good idea and that we should probably go home. But before they let us go, my buddy was like, hey, can we get a picture? And they're like, yeah, if we can get a picture too. I'm like, okay, cool. So we all posed. We got guys on the hood. We got guys, well, not on the hood, but on the roof. We got guys hanging out the doors and took a picture with Dumfries finest. It was literally one of those things that probably wouldn't happen outside of like a car culture kind of people. And we did all sorts of crazy stuff and built a whole lot of crazy stuff that didn't make sense, but stuff that we enjoyed. And it's just what car culture is. It's what being a car enthusiast is, and we absolutely loved it. So I had this buddy named Chad, and when he was younger, he was cutting his grass or something like that, or somebody was cutting some grass, this little kid. Just two little kids cutting grass. And ends up, push come to shove, his toe gets cut off. And his big toe and the one next to it, I believe. And evidently when you do that, you gotta learn how to walk again. It was a dramatic event in his life. And he had to learn to walk. And usually when guests were around, we'd be like, hey dude, wiggle it. And he'd pull off his shoe, he'd pull off his sock, and just wiggle his nub. And it freaked a lot of people out. But we had a lot of fun back then, and it's one of those memories that you just can't forget. One night we were hanging out in the house, and We were watching some car stuff, and then Dukes of Hazzard come on. The conversation came up like, hey, you know, do you think that, you know, we're talking about the physics of jumping a car and how fast you'd have to go, and, you know, just getting into this whole debate. Then I had a hold my beer moment, came up with the idea that we should go down to the construction site and jump the Escort. So, all right, now picture this. 6 idiots, a 1987 Ford Escort, no doors, no hood, screwdriver for a key, no exhaust, leaks oil profusely. We've never put oil in this thing, and we're driving it down this road, public road, to a construction site to play Dukes of Hazzard with a Ford Escort wagon. So we roll into the construction site and we realize that, okay, there's our target hill. So we're debating the limited physics that we even know, okay, with with the pure stupidity of any, you know, young guy that has no common sense. We're like, all right, we got to hit this thing at like 40 miles an hour if we're going to like not nosedive. So we get a good far distance away, enough runway to get up to 40 miles an hour, and we gun it. And this thing is like just like dying to get up to 40 miles an hour, and we're just like, boom, 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 boom. There's 6 of them. Now, I say there's 6 of us, but there's only 5 seatbelts. And before we took off, I was like, hey, is everybody, you can throw on their seatbelt. We got to get the seatbelts because this could end up really, really bad. And right before we left, right before we took off, right before we were about to meet our fate, I asked everyone, do you have your seatbelts on? Everybody was like, yeah, even Chad. But Chad's idea of a seatbelt was holding on to the 2 guys beside him that were wearing seatbelts. And he was sitting kind of catty corner up between 2 laps. Evidently math was not my strong suit. 6 people, 5 seatbelts. What could go wrong? So here we are, just rolling 40, 45 miles an hour. Get up to the ramp, and we're like, yeah, and we go and we fly and nosedive right on the. When we nosedive, this car shut off, and everybody's like kind of like dazed and confused, trying to figure out exactly what they're doing, seeing if everybody's okay. Turns out Chad had got, when we hit, we didn't hit straight down. We hit kind of like in a forward motion, and Chad was thrown up, forward and up, and he hit the cross member on the roof, and he busted his nose. I think it was right above his eye or maybe his nose, and he got hit hard. And here we are, and we got this car, and it's like, what do we do? What do we do? In the meantime, we are trying to get this Escort off this hill and see if we can get it out of there. Turns out we get the Escort off the hill, and we turn it on, and it smokes really bad because it was like nose planted. Smokes really bad, and we drove it home. We drove it back to the house, but somebody came and met us and got Chad. Push come to shove, Chad's got 3 broken vertebrae in the back of his neck, and luckily it wasn't any of the vertebrae that would have killed him. The whole time I'm sitting in the emergency room, I'm worried about Chad, I'm worried about, you know, if he's gonna be all right, and then the thought hits me, you know, I'm responsible for this. And I'm like 17, 18 years old, I have no money, no nothing. I'm literally living in a house with pretty much a backpack full of clothes. So I'm worried about like going to jail. Turns out Chad's parents realized that we're stupid, and just thankful that he's okay. He ended up living another day, doing more dumb stuff throughout the future. But that was one of the scariest moments of my life. And I've been through a lot. But to think that you could lose a friend doing dumb stuff, it's part of growing up. But at the end of the day, it's the mistakes in your life that make you who you are. Wisdom comes with experience, and experience comes with a lot of dumb decisions. So what I learned from this experience is, if you're gonna do dumb stuff, you got 6 people, and only 5 seatbelts, kick one of them out of the car. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button down below. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so that way one of you guys can walk away with a Snow Performance Stage 3 meth injection kit. We'll catch you later. Stay tuned.
Full black